Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Gundam Assault Survive. This is the predecessor to Gundam Seed Battle Destiny on the Vita, in the sense that it's part of the same series and it's more focused on the Universal Century, but there is some Seed and some 00 in there. And, well, let's just go and have a look around. So, this is a PSP game. I'm currently emulating it, if you couldn't tell by the gigantic speed 100 in the top right there. But you can probably play it absolutely fine on the Vita if you've got Adrenaline installed. I also do believe this is on the PlayStation Store in Japan, but I can't 100% be sure about that. So this is also actually English translated ISO. It actually has a couple of things translated. Not everything, as you can see, but it'll translate everything that you absolutely need to play the game. With that said though, let's go and have a look at some of the options we've got here. So you can change the controls, and the controls in this game are ridiculous. Seriously, look at all those button combinations you have to remember. I do remember most of them, but good lord. If you aren't very good at remembering ridiculous amounts of controls, you are not going to have fun in this game. And that's save and load and autosave. Your sound sliders. This lets you pick what background music there is. I think you can also import custom ones if you've got them in the music folder. I don't remember what that does. I think this is the secrets menu. There's also a tutorial menu, but I don't imagine any of this is translated. It's not, so we won't worry about that. It's pretty easy to figure out how to play this game just by hopping in. You do have the ability to play a versus game. You can also go to the shop, but we won't worry about that just yet. Network stuff, I don't remember what that does either, but I think the servers for this game are long dead, so we won't worry about that. And you can also come here to edit your pilots. You can have custom pilots, and you can also buy pilots from the individual series. So I have 3 pilots here. I have Depressed Bayonetta and Shinatsu, who's had a rough last 20 years. And me, who looks like some guy who is trying to look like a bloody, what's the word I'm looking for? He's trying to look like a bloody cowboy. So we can choose to press circle to basically start them from scratch, but we don't want to do that. We want to hit triangle. And we can see here that they've actually got things like stats and special abilities. The special abilities all have different abilities that happen throughout the fighting. So I believe this one here actually does a special attack once you hit lower than 30% health. It's an automatic thing that just triggers. Same thing with these two here, although I don't know what those two abilities actually do, although by the looks of it, it improves certain stats that they have. You can also change their title. I don't know if this is relevant to anything. But yeah, you can do that for every pilot you carry along. I believe you can only play as one though, which is that one for me personally. Now, right, yeah, okay, so my shoulder buttons are on the left bumper and right bumper because I'm playing this on a 360 pad. So let's go to the situation. So the main idea of this game is that every individual era of the game is split into its own piece. So if we want to play the 1 Year War, we do it in the 79 era. If we want to play the Zeta Gundam era, we want to do it in UC0083. So on and so on and so on. You can also play, of course, Seed and 00. For some reason, those are also translated. I'm not entirely sure why, but we won't worry too much about them. So, we have missions that we can go on, and these missions will increase in difficulty as the game goes on. Most of the missions are pretty much the same concept in the sense that you're doing the same thing as you go in, but they're all at that certain point in the story. So basically, we are currently defending, I think this is a Boaku in the 1 Year War, as the evil bastards, the Zeon. Sieg Zeon. God, my brain is not working with me today. I've already done 2-hour-long videos today, and it's only going to get worse. So, we pick our pilots in our suits. We won't worry about explaining their mechanics just yet. But if you've seen my Battle Destiny video, you'll know exactly how this works, except this game actually looks better because I'm playing it in a PSP emulator, and I've got the internal res turned way up, so these guys actually look great. Nevertheless, away we go. And we better lock onto the GM and just start shooting. So yeah, this is the game, more or less. It's mech combat. Very simple mech combat, but actually surprisingly satisfying at the same time. So, this is how the game works. You lock on with the R button, and you fire your weapons with the square button. You do also have melee on triangle, but melee in this game is not instant. It actually takes you time to stop and pull out your weapon. You have the ability to move with the left analog stick, and you can also dodge by double tapping it. You have to actually customize the controls. Movement is on the D-pad by default, and then using the left and right button actually changes the lock-on target. You can press down to lock on to the nearest notable thing. Left and right will swap your target left and right. You get the general idea. You have a booster on X, and you have the ability to throw sub-weapons with the circle button. If you press L and R together, you will lock onto another area that you can go into. And we will do just that. We'll head to Area B because it's the only area that has it's the only area that has enemies in it right now. Or at least it did. They're gone now. Thanks to the efforts of the Rick Dom. Guess we'll head to Area D? I'm not entirely sure what we're supposed to be doing at this point. I'm guessing it might be to guard the ship we were just at, which we'd be doing a terrible job at. Generally, the idea is if there is a friendly, try and defend them, otherwise just blow the crap out of literally everyone you see. That seems to be the main way the missions work in this game, and I'm not too fussed by that. Seems pretty reasonable. There are other controls that you have. Holding L and pressing your sub-weapon button will change your main weapon. So I currently have the Zaku Bazooka equipped. Let's fire it somewhere we can actually see the bullet. There we go. Oh, we have enemies! Oh god! Ow! Ow, you're hurting me. Ow! Cut it out. Hitting targets that are moving in this game is actually interesting, because you have to hold the square button to actually track the... oh dear. You actually have to hold the square button to track where the enemy is going to be, which can be a bit of a douche nozzle, I gotta say. Where's our ship? There's our ship. It's not doing great. It's actually really badly hurt. Good lord. All right, give me a target. There we go. Shit. You also have an SP bar down the bottom there, and that SP bar is actually very useful because if you're in trouble, you can hold the L button and press either the square or triangle button, and you'll do a special attack. You can also press both of them at once to do a hyper attack, which is even stronger. And SP will not only charge as you fight enemies, but it will also charge if you lock onto a friendly and just wait for the SP to go up. But it goes up so slowly that way that there's no real point. I'm guessing he's heading for Area D. He's not? Okay, hang on, let me get out of that and lock on right now. Where are you going, Mr. Musai? I think it's heading away. It's not heading for the area exit. I'm going to head for the area exit just in case, because if it ends up being there, we're going to be in trouble. And there's no enemies here, so it's safe for now. Okay, it looks like it's escaped. And we've unlocked Area E. And now everywhere else is just full to the brim with dudes. That's not good. We just need to try and fight our way up. Hopefully it shouldn't be too hard. So, yeah, there are a lot of mechanics in this game, but the fighting always remains relatively simple. There are a couple of, like, mobile suits that can transform, and they all have different sets of weaponry and stuff like that, obviously. But outside of that, fighting enemies is always relatively the same, so it never feels too difficult to control a particular mobile suit, which is good, because it keeps the game nice and simple. But all the mobile suits do indeed feel very different, especially when you're going from a weaker suit to a stronger suit. It makes a huge difference trying to fight off a bunch of different mobile suits depending on what suit you're in. If you're in a Zaku 2 like this one, you're screwed. There's not much you can do. But if you're in a, like the jump from going from a GM to a Gundam is ridiculous. It makes you feel so powerful. Alright, we're gonna head to Area E because that's probably where we need to be at this point. So I'm gonna swap back to my bazooka. We're just gonna keep going. We're not gonna give them any time of day whatsoever. I'm gonna have to fly that to actually move straight towards it, aren't I? In we go. Dangerous enemies appeared. And there's the Gundam. Now we have to fight it. Thankfully, we will probably have the help of a friendly, and that is the Big Zam. So we just need to try and beat the crap out of the Gundam before it beats the crap out of the Big Zam. Which probably isn't going to be too hard, but well, it's worth putting in some effort anyway. So let's just fill him full of lead. Because it's the Gundam. We do not want to let him stand up for even a remotely decent amount of time. There we go. Spam a bunch of SP attacks and the Big Zam is safe, and that is the end of the mission. The enemy has retreated. Most of the missions are pretty short like that. They can be anywhere from a couple of minutes to like 20 minutes. But the longer missions are actually a lot harder because you actually have to go back and heal up from time to time. As you saw, I actually took a fair bit of damage. If I hadn't healed it, I might have been in trouble there. But no, thankfully, I beat the crap out of the Gundam, and therefore I win. You get money depending on how well you did during the mission, and it also upgrades your pilots. You need to get custom pilots to a certain level in order to unlock stuff in this game, so yeah. It'll also tell you that there is stuff in the store and new missions to play. That is pretty much what all those messages down there meant. So yeah, if we go back, we can see that we've unlocked another mission here, which is nice. And we also have a new mission here, apparently. I don't remember having that one unlocked. Maybe that was one of the ones that I unlocked when I finished the Federation side of the... when I finished the Federation side... Is it the Federation? No, it's the... Well, they say it's the Earth Space Forces. I don't remember that being the name, but... Then again, it's been a while since I've watched Gundam 79, but yes. So if we go to the shop now, we can just explain what this is. So we can actually come here and buy mobile suits. So if we hit triangle, we can see the mobile suits that we can buy. And there's a fair few different kinds you can buy. You can buy all sorts of them, and of course, you can buy them all in different eras as well. The way it works is that all the Gundams are actually restricted in what era you can use them in until a certain point. I know that you can eventually take any Gundam into any mission, but any mobile suit into any mission, I should say. You can also buy parts, which you can use to upgrade stuff. We won't go into that just yet, because there's another thing that comes along here. You can also buy custom pilots and custom navigators, which is just voices for the chick that talks to you throughout the mission. You can also buy custom skills. Also, although it's annoying that this translation doesn't actually tell you what it does, which kind of sucks. You can also buy titles here. Again, I don't know what this does, so there's no real point. You can also buy development plans. Now, development plans are actually interesting because there is no way you'd be able to figure this out unless you were actually translating the game. So if we hit triangle here, we can see that we need to have Zaku 2 F2, we need to upgrade it to 2500 TP, and we need to equip a booster to it. Once you do that, that will unlock whatever the development plan is, and you need to buy the development plans. So say I want to get the GM cannon. I want to upgrade it with 1000 TB, and I want to buy a special charger. Do I have any special chargers so I can just demonstrate how this system works? Parts is the second one. Do I have an S charger? I don't think I do. That's unfortunate. What else can I demonstrate that on? Gundam 3000 magnetic coating, GM, S propellant tank. Okay, that I can do. I'm pretty sure I already have a couple of those. Yeah, S propellant tank. We'll buy one of them. No, that's the propellant tank. I wanted the S propellant tank. I just wasted some money. Right. So yeah, I need to get it up to 1,000, right? Just the GM, nothing else in particular, right? Yeah, GM 1,000, got it. So we go back to our situation, and if we pick a mission in the regular side, we go to the GM. Now, as you can see here in the summary menu, we have a bunch of stats that we can upgrade. Stat upgrades cost money, but these stat upgrades also improve the status of your machine. So there are a bunch of things here. These two here, for example, these are thruster related, like the X button, for example. It improves your thrusters, makes them last longer and go harder. HP, defense against certain types of weapons. You get the general idea. You can also do the same thing with your weaponry. You can upgrade its base damage. You can upgrade how many it has in one clip. You can upgrade. You can upgrade how long it takes to reload. The general idea, right? It's those sorts of things. And generally, just applying money across the board to a mobile suit is a good idea because it will generally just improve your general state of things. So we've spent enough money to get 1,700 TP on this suit. So if we back out, it'll prompt us to spend the money. And if we spend the money and we back out, if we go back to the main menu, it'll tell us that it should tell us that our development was complete. Maybe I have to wait until after. Yeah, there we go. The development plan has been completed, and now we can buy the GMWD. So yeah, that is pretty much the progression in this game. As you play through the eras, you will unlock new stuff to buy. You will also have suits that you can equip. And you will either have to buy them or you will unlock them as part of the story. We're going to play a mission on the side of the Federation Space Forces at this point. And we are also going to use Gundams because my Gundams have all been 100% upgraded. And they've also got... I could probably also put a better part on this, but... yeah, unfortunately there are some parts that you just can't equip to some particular things. But yeah, you get the idea. The parts all have their own specific effects. So this one here, for example, HP plus 1,000, defense plus 10, but it also reduces its overall maneuverability by 10. So that's the basic idea. We can also equip it with a medium-sized thing, so let's give it a larger propellant tank so that I can really push the thrusters out a bit. So, let's just hit the start button and deploy. We're on the ground this time, which means our thrust is going to be a lot less effective. Nevertheless, we will go and fight Brave. Our replenishment point this time is a building. We are 3 Gundams. It's actually a really nice looking Gundam model. This entire game looks really nice. Most PSP games have the problem where they're on a low resolution screen, but if you're playing on like an emulator or a Vita, it all looks really nice actually. It looks really damn good. And it controls pretty well as well. All the suits are designed to be pretty... what's the word I'm looking for? They're all designed to be relatively stiff. But at the same time, it still means that you can actually do really good against a traditional... it still means that you can do really well against a mobile suit just by learning the skills. Your dodges are very nice. Your dodges, your effective use of thrusters and boosting, your ability to get around the map and deal with annoying bastards like the Z-God which is lying down here. And again, all the enemies are different. They all have different abilities. They all have different weaponry, different SP attacks. So you have to get used to all of them. And also, yes, the Gundam can transform. So you can just fly around like this if you feel like it. This is actually the faster way to get around because it actually drains less in the way of thrusters. Super Napalm, which is literally just deployable mines. Give me my rifle back. You're going to use SP, I'm going to use SP. I'm going to knock you flat on your ass and you're going to just die. There we go. Now I can, Alright, our conditions change and we've been given a way forward, so I assume we're going to have to head to exit A. Oh no, exit B, never mind. Bloody hell, what is... It's X and... There we go, it's X and circle. Yeah, having to press 2 buttons at the same time is kind of a shitter in this one, I've got to say. It'd be nice if you were able to, like, make it so that by default, say in PPSSPP, that certain buttons wouldn't be pressed. You can't press certain button combinations, and then you can just remap like certain buttons to always be that button combination. But yes, the game itself, the combat of it, the just overall quality of it is really good. Oh, I almost forgot. You can actually press select to order your buddies around. And you can use either the D-pad, you can use the D-pad to order one and the face buttons to order another. Yeah. The progression in this game, really fun. Buying and upgrading your suits is always engaging because you can absolutely tell the difference. Fighting off enemies of all kinds from all sorts of different eras. I wish that they actually made a Gundam battle game that took place during the Unicorn era, so that I could fight the Neo Zeon. I'll go to Area C. I'm gonna empty out my beam rifle and my head bolt so that I've got the so that I've got the ammo regenerating as I go into the next area. And it does, despite the fact that it looks relatively... Gundam Alex? Oh hey, it's Gundam Alex! Cool. Shite. Right, let's defend this building. Gundam Alex can take care of himself for now. We just need to... Yeah, Kampha. I hope I can ride around as one of them. I love the Kamphas. They're ridiculous. Also, this is ridiculous. But yeah, the combat itself is engaging. It requires a lot of skill to get good at, while at the same time still being accessible to lower end players. And while upgrading to a more powerful suit does make you feel like a god sometimes, it does also require you to actually be pretty good at the game in order to make real use of them. And of course, every stage has ranks, so there's plenty of opportunities in order to actually unlock more. Can I unlock onto my... Yeah, I can heal up, and I can order these guys to do the same thing. So I just need to... Yeah, there we go. Oh, great, there's another defense target that we need to worry about. Alright, that's enough health. Lock on. Whee! This is ridiculous, but I like it. And there's tons of content. There's multiple different eras of Gundam that you can play in, each with their own set of individual mobile suits. Holy shit, this guy is strong. This must be one of the others. Oh god. Right, yeah, fuck it. Defense target. Yeah, we need to go and finish these guys off right now. Can't leave them alive. And they don't actively retell the stories of these areas, of these eras. Oh dear, I think we just lost. No, apparently not. If we lost, it would have we absolutely would have had a mission failed screen by now. That's a little bizarre. Let's get out of it. Thank you. I guess the one major downside I would have is that, well, while some of the game has been English translated, you might need to go hunt down the ISO or whatever for yourself, but while parts of the game have been English translated, things like the objectives haven't been. So if you might end up running into trouble, like figuring out some of the objectives and stuff, again, it's more or less just go and defend something or go and kill everything most of the time. With that said, though, yeah, it can, sometimes it isn't. I need to take out that Musai. I need to use my bazooka for this, don't I? There we go. Now I just buffet it with SP attacks. Target destroyed. Now we just need to do the other one. And it's got enough depth to keep me coming back, because admittedly, this is like the 4th Gundam battle game that I've played. I've played the one on Vita, which wasn't that great in comparison to the ones on PSP. And I've also played, what's it called? I've also played Gundam Battle Universe on the PSP. I actually played that almost to completion. The main reason why I avoided this one because people complained about the difficulty of it. But after actually playing it, it's not really that bad. You just need to not be shit. Which I think is reasonable enough. Right, I'm guessing, what's-his-face in Area D needs to die as well. Mr. Really Strong Zaku for some reason. Okay, let's do this. I don't remember this in the 79 era, but this might be one of the side stories I'm not familiar with yet, because Gundam's huge, man. Shoot him! Just finish him off. Don't let him stand around for too long. He'll oh god. There he is. No. There we go. Did some damage. Get away. He's got... Whoa, that was close. That absolutely would have killed me. There is no doubt in my mind that attack, if it hit, would have absolutely wiped the floor with me. But yeah, there we go. We'll go play one more mission, and that one more mission is going to be in the 00 era. I think it also applies to the Seed era, but I haven't actually played any Seed missions yet, because I much prefer Universal Sentry to the other areas, but that's just me. Yay, more pilot stats. What do I get? I think I just unlocked some more mobile suits in the shop. I'm actually going to go and verify that one for myself. Gun Cannon D. Oh. Maybe those were development plans. No, apparently not. I bought all them too. Oh, that's a shame. I like the Zeke suits. They're ridiculous. Alright, so let's go play a 00 mission. Whoops, I pressed X there instead of circle. So the way these missions work, at least so far, they haven't actually, like... It's just locked, and you can't actually swap pilots or anything, which is kind of disappointing, but oh well. There are a couple of other neat things about the game that I want to show off, so let's do this mission entirely in first person. They do also recycle maps from time to time, but yeah. Beam daggers. I wasn't kidding when I said you can play the entire game like this if you feel like it. It's weird to do, but you're more than welcome to. Just throw a beam dagger out and just finish him off, and then grab the sword and just senseless. There is actually a proper PSP game where you play entirely in first person, like it's an actual cockpit. I can't remember the exact name of it, but I think it's like Senju no Kisuna. Kaizuna? Something like that. I think they want me to go to Area C. Or PSP or whatever. Target exists. Thank you for telling me this. Oh, no, hang on. They want me to actually... Do they want me to defend the... Well, I don't have to defend the, I don't have to defend the resupply base sometimes, but it's not usually made particularly clear whether or not I really do have to, which can kind of suck. I also don't have any other weapons on this, so it's just beam rifle and nothing. Defense target damage height. Oh shit. Right. Lock on the area beam. Go. We need to get over there. Now, what am I doing? Don't have a... Yeah, there we go. I'm not entirely sure what this mode is. Let me just go out of first person for a second. Oh, I'm just magically farting my way around. Yeah, screw it. We'll stick with this for us to mission. But still, you get the idea. You can play the entire game in first person. I honestly prefer playing it this way, but you get the general idea. We can get out of flight mode. Bit of a wasted SP effort there, but you get the idea. So yeah, I assume that this mode will open up eventually and we'll be allowed to just go and do whatever we want, but a little bit disappointing they don't give you a little bit more freedom, but then again at the same time I assume that the story for Gundam 00, again, I haven't seen it either. I'm tragically behind on my anime consumption, but I assume that the story for 00 doesn't actually allow for it. Let's just go back to Area A and make sure this is safe. Now, Area C. I can just control this thing for half a second. There we go. Alright. There's apparently a base down there. That's interesting. Oh, they want me to destroy that. Alright, that... Okay. Oh, well, looks like we'll just have to order everybody to shoot at this thing. So maybe you can just fly around like this, or just fall around. Target destroyed. I assume that's the end of the mission. Don't mind. I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again. Hi. Oh, I'm sorry. I just had to go and just absolutely wipe the floor with him like that, but there we go. Gigantic beam to celebrate our success. So that was a relatively long look. Oh god, this time flies when I'm playing this game. I enjoy it that much, apparently. That was a look at Gundam Assault Survive. If you enjoy flying around lots of different kinds of gigantic mech robots, then you are more than welcome to come along and play this. It is well worth the time to seek out and play if you are interested in Gundam remotely. And I've got nothing else to say other than that. These games are great. So, you know, if I've got to stick an ISO on your modded Vita, emulate it on PC, or buy it off the Japanese PlayStation Store, please do. This has been Blue Maxima, and I will see you all next time.